mass biometric enrollment of the population may be a very big challenge. There are therefore some key points you have to take into account. I mean, the main phases this kind of project will address. The first phase is the preparation phase. The second, I would say, the deployment phase and operation on the field. And at the end, the data processing phase at the backend system. The preparation phase is very essential because it is the time where you are going to plan all the activities you will have to carry out during this process. It's important to put in place a steering committee that will monitor, coordinate all the activities since the procurement of enrollment equipment, the recruitment of human resources, manpower that will install, assembly the equipment, the training of operators in association with the supplier of the solution. This steering committee will manage communication with the national authority, with the population, in order to make sure that the population will be present at the right place, at the right moment during the period of the enrollment campaign. The deployment phase will require appropriate logistics in order to bring the equipment as close as possible to the population to be enrolled. Also, you will need to put in place also appropriate logistics in order to transmit the data you will collect on the field, to transmit this data to the backend system where this data will be processed. And this should be done, must be done in a secure way. The data will be processed at the backend system using an automated biometric identification system that will compare the photo images and compare the fingerprints that have been collected on the field. This will let the system identify, detect duplicates, if any. People must be trained to rule on the reality of a duplicate detected by the ABIS because challenge identities may be subject to litigation, while validated identities may lead to the issuance of permanent ID documents. So if I may summarize this overview, I will use only 4 words. It's prepare, communicate properly, deploy, and check.
Interesting, Edmond. And I think the other day we were discussing a significant anecdote back in the days, back in 2010, I think, in a specific country.
I see what you mean. Yes, it's a little quite funny. I remember in 2010, yes, I was working on a Benin project with the Electoral Commission of Benin, and we delivered more than 230 tons of enrollment equipment to the Electoral Commission. When the Electoral Commission was deploying this equipment in the country, at one moment they realized that they did not have sufficient logistics to do this dispatch in due time in the country.
So what happened then? Because they realized they didn't have any resources, so what did they do?
Yes, it was a very critical situation due to the initial schedule for the project. At the end, hopefully, the EC managed to convince the national authority to get the support from the national army. So the national army was now conveying the equipment throughout the country, but this created a panic in the population because, for example, at that moment, I was located in Porto Novo, which is very close to the border of Nigeria. The people there were convinced that the army was coming to oppose an attack against Nigeria.
So people supposed to help you were actually believed to be part of like a coup or initiating a civil war or something like that.
Yeah, what was funny is the fact that I knew what was happening. I knew why this situation, but I could not convince them. Hopefully, at the end, the government sent some statements to the media to calm the population, and everything
Successfully
went right.
deployed after
Yeah.
that, after the statement by the authorities.
Yeah, this is
Great.
why I stress again the importance of communication. So communicate before acting and act according to your communication.
Thank you, Enmore, for this overall overview of the mass rejection of identities.
You're welcome.